ago, my wife and I, Debbie, we went on an amazing road trip to San Diego. And so we, and spoiler alert, one of us leaves a hero, but it was the wrong one. So I was there for an NSPR conference, which is a conglomerate of, school communication specialists. And they make a big deal when I go through registration of putting a ribbon on my name tag that says superintendent. I was superintendent of schools at the time, bold print, and so, which is great, which becomes important later. That conference, they had a first-time attendees deal, and so I go to the first session, and they have about 50 people in the room, and they partner me up with somebody, and you introduce each other. We've all done this icebreaker, and you interview them, and then they introduce you to the crowd. And I got partnered up with this gal from Denver, and she was great. She told me all about herself. I'm writing all these notes, and we didn't hear him say switch. And then they called the pair next to us, so it was clear that we were next. And in this panicked look, she looks at my name tag, she sees superintendent, she gives me her pad, and she says, write down all the jobs you've had leading to the superintendency. I said, absolutely, I'll do it as quick as I can. And so I'm writing down all the jobs that I've had. And the first job I wrote down was custodian. And that's important because when I was in high school, I was a custodian at Delaware Valley College in Doylestown, for those of you who know it. And I cleaned classrooms, and I learned an important lesson, is that you better take care of the teachers and never erase the board unless they tell you that you can. That was a lesson that I learned, and so I've carried that with me. And so so without that explanation, she stands up and introduces me as someone that went from superintendent, or from custodian to superintendent, that trajectory, all in the same school district. I look out at the crowd, imagine this whole crowd, all standing up in unison, giving me a standing ovation. and I feel the blood rushing up my neck, into my face. I'm like, no, stop, that's not what the myth was born. I couldn't stop it. And this is a group of people, communications folks, that know how to make a story go viral. And I could not go anywhere in San Diego. I go to the bathroom, I go to the lobby, and everyone's like, you are amazing. You are an inspiration to us all. You are the American dream. All right, so 2 days, and you know what happened? At the end, I stopped trying to explain. I just said to people, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so 2 days later, my wife, Debbie, she came out, and we're sitting in the gas lamp district, and we're sitting on the side. If you've ever been there, we're at a table on the sidewalk, and sure enough, a group of people come up as we're eating dinner, and they say to me, you are amazing. And I just say, thank you very much. Yes, I am. And they go off, and Debbie looks at me and says, what the hell did you do? Well, I didn't even have a chance to explain. Now, the Gaslamp District is right by Petco Park, which is where the Padres play, and all of a sudden, we see a Chihuahua running down the sidewalk. In hot pursuit are ushers from Petco Park. One, and there's two more, and then two more, and they're chasing after this dog. There'd been a bring your pet to the park night, and the dog had escaped. And Debbie, right on 5th Avenue, it is a busy street, 2 lanes each way. There is traffic everywhere. The dog runs into the street. Debbie leaps up, runs out into 5th Avenue, boom, stops traffic in both directions. This dog is having a hell of a time. He's running around, he's through cars, and they're chasing, the ushers are chasing, and Debbie says, come here. Dog runs right up to her, she scoops him up, she walks over to the sidewalk, and she said, now that's amazing. 2 days later, we're on the plane heading home, and sure enough, as I'm walking down the aisle, this guy says to me, he goes, you're that custodian to superintendent guy, you're amazing. And I had my chance. And I said, yes, I am. Thank you very much. But you really want to hear the amazing story about my wife. And we went home, we got in our seats, and one of us was a hero, and one of us wasn't. Cheers.